Someone who hasn't been resting is kind of Hudson-Odoi. So today, obviously, we saw some videos of him in training, back in training. I think he was the only one in training, getting it in early doors. What do you make of that, Jay? It for me, it kind of puts him in good stead, in my opinion, and it seems like he really wants it now. He's seen an open. What do you?
Yeah, man. Like, bro, that kind of stuff there, I think he's showing already that I was trying to get my position last season towards the end. For whatever reason, obviously, he didn't get the minutes that he probably I think, me personally, I felt like he deserved a little bit more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get them, but he hasn't sulked about it. You get what I'm saying? He's carried on. He's shown excitement that they've managed to get top four. He's moved on from the FA Cup final, little Pedro coming on before him stunt and all of that, which, like, fair enough, that's Lampard's decision, but I can see why he might have took that as a little bit of a blow as well.
Slap in the face.
But then you look at him now and he's still, he's training hard outside of Chelsea's official training date, like training start date anyway. I think they're back tomorrow. So yeah, man, it's nothing but good energy from Callum, and I really, really hope that he is on that starting lineup against Brighton. I really do. Like, I proper want him to be one of the first names on the team sheet.
I feel like it's going to be quite interesting for me, because I feel Callum's attitude has been called into question by a number of fans, it's been baffling for me, because I think maybe it's the fact that he wanted to leave and they feel like they probably thought he was a bit too above his station, which I find is quite ridiculous. But here we go. In terms of his attitude and application to the game, I wouldn't want to question it. But the fact that you're seeing extra work ethic, hunger, desire, and that's one thing that Frank Lampard absolutely champions, the extra work ethic and just wanting to work, the willingness to work, the willingness to fight your way into a side. And that's one thing that we absolutely gave credit to Christian Pulisic about, in terms of fighting his way in. He was out of favour for quite some time, and some might argue rightfully, some might argue wrongfully, that he wasn't playing. And he fought his way in. And one thing that we always champion Christian Pulisic about is his mentality, and having that winners and that hungry mentality. I mean, nothing more highlights and showcases his desire and his winning desire, and his attitude, and his mentality was when he got injured. When he got injured in the FA Cup, where he sprinted, tore his hamstring, and he still tried to take a shot. I personally have never seen anything like that in my life. Like, when people say Captain America, that was literally those moments.
Yeah.
I was talking to my boys about this, and we said, like, that is such an American thing, as in that moment, trying to score a goal whilst injured. That is such an American mentality, like, a never say die type. All right, I'm going to give everything, So that's one thing you can never take away from Christian Pulisic. So, kind of Hudson-Odoi, really and truly, yes, you may win this position. You may win the start against Brighton, but it's completely up to you now to fight for this position or fight for your place and win this, because Pulisic mentally, he's going to come back, and he's going to come back fighting and trying to get his position back. And that, for me personally, is only a positive thing. When you have two players or a plethora of players being hungry and not disillusioned, because I feel like last season you could probably argue that Callum wasn't getting his opportunities, and you could probably say that he might have been slightly disillusioned sometimes because he wasn't playing. Same with Christian Pulisic. I think earlier in the season he was kind of murmur saying, I'm not quite sure why I'm not playing, blah, blah, blah. But he knuckled down, got on with it, and started getting his games. That didn't quite work out for Callum, but it seems like the pennies dropped this summer anyway. He cut his holiday extremely short, and he's come back hard, and he's come back to training extra days. And for me, maybe mentally, he's now starting to see that, okay, right, I'm 19 now. Last year was a wasted year, which I kind of expected because I was injured. or I had this big injury.
Yeah.
Now it's time to kick on. Now it's time to really fight for this because I want to be a big player. You know what I mean? So even
sorry to put you. And I think that like we saw that little clip of them when they were doing like the keep ups and that in that little clip between that with each other. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they both push each other. Do you know what I mean? Like within the club, like I feel a lot of people and a lot of fans try to make it out like it's one versus the other. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually, you know, pushing each other, and it's a thing where they appreciate the fact that they're both very, you know, top young talents, and they're at a massive club in Chelsea at the moment, and they know that there's only one spot up for grabs, but they're not trying to play each other down or anything. They're trying to push each other, work hard, get the best out of each other, and then whoever trains hardest, whoever performs best ends up in. And like you said, that can be nothing but a positive, because that means you're going to end up with a top winger regardless. Do you know what I mean? Like,
regardless of who it is, you're going to have one player that has pushed themselves to the most to get there. So it's not a bad thing. For me, having a hudson-odoi who's hungry, having a Christian Pulisic who's hungry is not a bad thing whatsoever. And also, they both know what's coming. They both know Hakim Ziyech is coming. They both know that Timo Werner is there. They both know that potentially Kai Havertz is coming. And Kai Havertz can play anywhere across the front four. So they know they need to push themselves. They need to go hard. Callum, I don't think he would be under any misconception that, these men are coming. I need to push myself. I need to go to the next level. I need to put on the extra work, do the extra work. Because ultimately, your position is precarious as it is. So you need to work hard. You need to show the manager that, look, you can rely on me. You know what I mean? And I'll show you that. And I'll show you that I'm hungry, because I'll show you that by doing that extra work. So no complaints on Callum doing extra days. I'm really happy for him. And I'm hoping that it kind of is valued by Frank Lampard. I'm hoping that, you know, he gets an opportunity to really show